So, let me make a confession. When I was invited to speak at this summit, I honestly thought I was going to be asked to speak on purpose or passion. Well, I was invited to speak on profit. So I said to myself, what is it that I can share with these lovely ladies that is true, that I have experienced for myself, and that is relevant to the time right now? So I decided that I was going to be talking about reinvention. And it's a concept that I have been sharing for a long time, but it has meant many things to me, and I hope it means something to you after my talk. So I shall be sharing my screen. Okay, so let's do this. 5 steps to reinvent yourself for impact, influence, and income. So hello everybody. My name is Delby Bragais, and I'm so privileged to be sharing with you right now. One of the things I learned is that almost everything we can use as a platform to share a message. Hopefully, a message that will help others. So here I am striking a pose with one of my outfits. It is a hand-woven jacket that I made, but what is the message here? The message here is, you see people holding hands. This one was hand-woven in the highlands of my country, the Philippines, by a woman's group. And it talks about community. So I'm so happy to be joining the Changemakers community. Good. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed that, but that also shares with you a little bit about what I do. And this is an example of one of my creations. I have a boutique. It's a freestanding boutique located in a very creative and progressive part of our country. It's in a BGC or Bonifacio Global City, and this place is centrally located, but it really took me some time before I was able to open one. And guess what? I can't forget the time when we were opening this. OMG, we were literally the ones carrying the mannequins, carrying the fabrics, carrying... Oh, okay, I couldn't carry the machines, but it was like, if you look at it, it looks fabulous. But behind the scene, it took a lot of work. So it's also centrally located, great place. This is me, and I feel so grateful to have the opportunity to show in Gotham Hall for Style Fashion Week. And it was one of the milestones of my life. And here are my models wearing my creations. And there I am in the middle. So, I think for all of us in every industry, it doesn't matter what industry you're from, there are certain milestones where you feel that I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. And for me, this was one of those milestones. However, the way that I ended up in this situation is something that was totally unexpected. And again, we go back to community. I had friends, female friends, and if not for them, I would not have been in this place. And we also talk about relationship building. So you might notice that I talk about certain themes during this presentation, and these are themes that mean a lot to me and that have mattered in my pursuit of purpose, passion, and ultimately profit. Because at the end of the day, I believe that profit is a side effect of so many things. And going for it from the very beginning, it works for some people, but for me, it didn't work that way. And it took time. So let me share with you the lessons I learned during this pandemic. Super simple. Number one, life is short. I don't know about you, but I have experienced some friends and family having been called to heaven ahead of at the time that we were ready to part with them. I have had friends in the fashion industry that have not had a single centavo come in because of this pandemic. I have had a lot of friends with no jobs and a number of friends who would not be able to send their children to school because of cash problems. Number one, life is short. So for me, that taught me to go for it. Do the things I've always wanted to do. And I do not want that at the end of the day, I do not want to ask myself, could I have done this? Would I have been able to pull this off? So I guess what I'm saying to you ladies in a nutshell is that if there is a dream you have, if there's something you want to do but are kind of scared, maybe if you put it in the context of life being short, it might prod you a little bit forward to do it and to do it now. The second lesson I learned in this pandemic is that multiple sources of income definitely matter. Why? I don't mind being very honest with you. Ever since we closed the boutique last March because of the pandemic and the continuous lockdowns in my country, we have not opened the store, the boutique until now. So what does that mean? Goodbye cash flow, goodbye source of income, goodbye source of where I would pay my team, and goodbye to my lovely clients. I was getting texts telling me, Delbs, what's going to happen now? And I really didn't know what to say. And we make a lot of bridal wear, and now some of the brides that are not from the Philippines cannot come back. So, goodbye cash flow. If I was not able to set up a system where I could earn beyond and over my earnings from the fashion business, then I will not be speaking to you right now. The third and last learning that I've had because of this pandemic is that we all have to build brand. We all have to invest. Why? Because we are our best models. You know, when we engage the services of models, it's not enough only to choose the best in terms of face, the best in terms of figure, but there is such a thing as the best in terms of presence. And personal branding is what helps you move your presence so that you get more visibility, you get more credibility, so that you can build relationships, and then you can monetize. So, why am I talking about reinvention? The bottom line is, I have not earned a single cent or centavo from the fashion business. And I needed to move and pivot. I needed to be creative and think about what can I do so that I don't starve. So how did I move from single to multiple revenue streams? First of all, the bottom line is, it's a mindset thing. I know you keep on hearing that most probably, but it's really the way you think. If I did not think that way before, then I will not be in this place right now. So I will share with you the very, very simple things that I did that anybody could do. I'm not saying it's going to be an overnight success. Have you heard of the saying that, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success? So this thing will take time, but it can build you a sustainable business, something that can weather unexpected situations. If you are an entrepreneur looking for other ways and other sources of income might come naturally. But if you are an employee, if you are working or you have a 9-to-5 day job, you might ask, Delby, is it possible to do this? And the answer is yes. So what I'm going to be sharing with you can be replicated. It is duplicatable. However, the question is, are you willing to do what it takes? So basically, this is so simple. I believe that all of us if you really want to future-proof your career, if you really want to attract opportunities, and if you really want to create multiple income streams, this is an example of something that you can do. You can write, you can speak, you can teach, and coach. What do I mean by this? You might say, wait a minute, what exactly do you mean? That's so many. There's so many. How am I gonna do all of those? It is not as complicated as you think. But let me share with you how it was for me. Writing, you know what? You don't need to write a book. An example of writing could be a blog. It could be a book, or it could be writing for high-profile publications. It could be anything that goes into your brand ecosystem. Meaning to say, when you develop these products, it will help boost your visibility and credibility. And there could be money on the side. Monetization. Not at once, but if you set it up right, it will happen. In my case, I decided to write a book, and it forever changed my life. It opened a lot of doors which otherwise would not have been open to me. I got more paid speaking engagements, and also, you will find out later on as I go down all of these things that I did, how they are interconnected. That's why I call it an ecosystem, because all of them are interconnected, and that is what I am suggesting to you, ladies. When you do something, you think about how all of them can be interconnected so that automatically they create synergy, and 1 + 1 will equal 3. So I decided to write a book. I decided to position myself as a speaker. And yes, I got paid speaking engagements. Now, simple. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to write and then I'm going to speak. But guess what? If you're going to speak about things that you already wrote about, then that's fingertip knowledge, because you already wrote about it. So you can move forward with this, because what is there to compose? You have already composed this. So paid speaking engagements follows. For another thing is, most of the global speakers, check them out. Most of them, especially the ones that get paid very well, have written a book. So it's a fabulous business card. Okay, that's 2. 3, when I say teach, you might tell me, Delbs, you're telling me to write and then to speak. Now you're telling me to teach. The thing is, you're going to teach the same thing too. So what you wrote about and the different things you wrote about, guess what? The money, the real money, if you are going to count it in terms of dollars and centavos, is not in writing. But writing is a great credibility builder. It positions you as an expert in a specific field. Therefore, you get more speaking invitations and you get more invitations to teach. What will you teach? You will teach also, again, what you wrote in the book, because it makes things easier. So teaching, again, opened doors for me, and I started getting invited to different countries. And guess what? A lot of those that were sitting in the audience were mostly women who wanted to know how to monetize their passion or expertise. So if you attract a certain type of audience and you love interacting with them, you don't really have to kill yourself and break your head in thinking about different ways or to how am I gonna polish this, or how am I going to write a new speech or create a new workshop. When you are clear about the demographic that you're serving, you're clear about who gravitates towards you, because all of these they're all sending signals out there, and whoever resonates with you, then they are the ones that you are gonna have a party with. They're the ones you're gonna be interacting with and serving with, and they're the ones who are gonna want to go with you through the journey. Now, lastly, it's coaching, and coaching is actually one of the ways I'm making money now. What I did was I just opened a new website, because this is part of reinvention. This is part of pivoting, and it's super duper new. If you check it out, you will find out that it's not yet perfect, but that's where the beauty lies. You can see a work in progress, and I don't mind taking you along for the journey. And coaching, I'll just let you know, because I set up coaching bundles in different tiered price points, there are people that can avail of those different price points. And so with you, in the future, if you do decide to do this, then not everybody can afford your premium priced products, but there are different ways. They can buy your book, and my book is so cheap. I mean, I honestly, what I'm saying is, your book, if you make a book, if you write a book, it's not gonna be over $20. I mean, so the book by itself is already the entry level. But you know what I'm saying is, if you offer different tiered price points, then you're giving the opportunity for other people to learn from you, but within their budget. So right now, I'm just honestly telling you, it's really the coaching that is the low-hanging fruit, and that's easy. Coaching, you can do one-on-one coaching, you can do group coaching. So of course, you might say, Delbs, but how do you leverage on this? How do you scale? And so by itself, all of these are scalable. It depends on the channels that you use. Okay, this is an example. Because so the book has a print copy, but because it's up on Amazon Kindle, then of course it's selling by itself regardless of what time of day it is. And so it is very, I love it every time I see that you receive payment. So there's an email that comes to you, depending on the platform you're using to get paid. But when you see that, so you receive payment, it makes you feel happy. And aside from actually a book that has written words, right now we are developing, and it's going to be finished pretty soon, an audiobook version. So you're not making a new product, you're just creating another medium to sell it. So that's a second way you can make money from the same product. And so there's the paperback version, there's the Kindle version, you can have the audiobook version, which we're coming up with, and then there is one more thing that we developed called the companion workbook. So the companion workbook is actually, again, based on the book. So which you can also sell. So how we have a companion workbook. So how many ways of making money is there from that one product? I've already named 4. So, but then again, let me tell you that if you're looking at a book to make money, this is not the way you're going to make money. So let me move forward with this. Normally, studies have shown that the most common number of books a person can sell, commonly, the average author is 250. So obviously, I'm in the thousands. But what I'm saying is, that's the normal. But you don't make money from the book by selling it. There are other ways to make money. So this is an example of speaking, and I accepted speaking invitations, which gradually ended up paid speaking invitations. But honestly, when I started as an accidental speaker. Why? Because I was not the real speaker. I was the stand-in for the real speaker. So when the real speaker told them that, Delbs, please help us, the event organizers were already asking for help because the person wasn't going to show. All of a sudden, there was an important business meeting abroad and he had to leave the country. So there goes the accidental speaker. The second time was there was an entrepreneurship class that was graduating, and the preferred or the real speaker was sick. So here comes the phone again. Delbs, help. I can't make it. Again, Delbs, help, I can't make it. Because he was sore throat. So I showed up. Guess what? All of them were men. It turns out that that class was for men only. So wasn't that kind of like weird? You have an audience of all men for a class for all men on entrepreneurship, and you have a female speaker for graduation. Okay, and then I told you the next one I did that I decided to go into was teaching. Honestly, guys, teach your gift. That is one of the things I'm going to tell you, and it's famously said by the author and course creator, Danny Iny, when he says teach your gift, because I believe that if you have something that you're passionate about, it's going to be easy for you to teach it. That's not to say you don't have to practice, but what I'm saying is half the job's already done. So check this out.
Okay, what did you think of Delby's course?
I'm just really thankful for her workshop today on personal brand makeover. It really gave me a chance to focus again on my dream, and we get so caught up in the everyday business of doing our business that we forget to focus on our business. So I was really thankful for that opportunity. But the one thing that really spoke to me is she's broken it down into practical, actionable steps. And when we think about reworking our brand or even creating our brand in the interim, there's so many different threads to pull together to create that tapestry that is our brand that it becomes overwhelming and we become sort of stuck, analysis paralysis. And these are practical, actionable steps, 1 through 8, that gives me an order to do things in, because we can get all wrapped up in the where I start. And so I really appreciate a new focus on where I need to go. So thank you, Delby. This is Liz Kleba from Pleasant Play Image.
So this one was taken in Chicago when I did the conference, because after I started doing these things, like I said, opportunities, you start attracting opportunities. You don't know where they come from, they just come. So we're talking about attracting opportunities. And actually what I was doing when they were recording this, you know what they did? The participants said, Delbs, don't worry about this. You sign all of your books, because all of us, after speaking engagements, you will have the opportunity to, guess what? Sell your books. So there I was signing, and there was a line in front of me, and I was signing the book, so I had no time to do this. They go, don't worry, Delbs, we're going to video each other. So they were videoing each other, and I got all the videos afterwards. How cool is that? This, from that class, I would get emails, and I would get like Delby, I recommended your book to a student of mine and she's gonna contact you soon. So all sorts of stuff happen, but nothing's gonna happen if you don't put yourself out there. So let's move forward. So bottom line is, I feel, because I don't have much time, bottom line is help others achieve their dreams and you will achieve yours. So definitely that's where all of this is circling around. My bottom line is share your gifts. Share your gifts. So moving forward, I would like to share with you quickly my 5 steps to reinvent yourself for impact, influence, and income. So all of these 5 steps I did myself. But obviously, I have 40 minutes and now I have a lot less than that. So let's do this. Gifts. Remember what I said. How to make money? Share your gifts. How to monetize, magnetize, and mesmerize? Share your gifts. So gifts will be the acronym. Number 1. G is for go within. So before you, I believe that this is fundamental. You cannot start any journey into, how am I going to create the ecosystem that Delby was talking about? Before you start that, you have to go within to find out what it is that you really, number 1, love to do, number 2, are good at or can be good at with some help, and number 3, people are willing to pay you. Actually, there's a number 4, something that can help change the world. So what I'm saying is, going within, I believe, is the very first step and it's very fundamental. Now, I also think that this beautifully wraps up purpose, passion, and prosperity. The problem is sometimes when the person is a millennial, I hear a lot of questions like, Delbs, how am I going to find out what my purpose is? When you're 20 years old, usually you might not have found it, but guess what? Don't worry, because your purpose finds you. And then I keep on getting a lot of challenges from the ones that are 50 years old above. Isn't it too late? Hello! Age is just a number, just like what you guys were talking about. I heard you, Casey. So, age is just a number. So, I have a lot to say about that. But moving forward, I is into the future. If you have a clear path forward, where do I want to go? I believe a lot in the power of visualization. When you look at the fashion design business that I came from, I can tell you already, looking at you, what is going to be flattering for your body type, your skin color, the function, the fabric, etc. So it's the ability to look forward, and if you can visualize the perfect future, then it makes it so much stronger for you. F is formulate strategy. You know what? The challenge sometimes is there's no plan. There's no plan. So that will be a big challenge. There's got to be strategy backing up your direction. So what exactly are you going to do? What's the strategy? T is for taking action. The challenge I usually see is starting. I always see this. They get paralyzed, either paralyzed by fear, paralyzed by comparison to others, which also goes back to fear. What do I mean? You keep on comparing yourself to others because this person is so fabulous. There's no way I'm going to overtake this person, or there's no way I'm going to have 1 million followers, or stuff like that. I honestly don't believe in the numbers. I mean, you can have a very successful career that you can monetize with 100 followers. It depends on the kind of followers that you have. So if these are your, there's this book about true fans. Talking about your true fans, the people who really resonate with you. So you don't need a lot. Don't get intimidated. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Look straight and start doing. Again, let me share this also. A lot of people, they don't do, they get paralyzed because one course after the other, but they do not execute. Execution matters. S, share your brand. So this is one of the realizations that really helped me so much in this pandemic, and this is how I was able to pivot. It's because I was able to lay the groundwork for branding before the pandemic. If I just started now, still good. But there's a saying, the best time to start your personal branding journey was before you need it. And the next best time is now. So as you know, simply put, this is really working on your reputation, working on what makes you unique, what makes you different, which I believe is so important. What makes you unique, what makes you different, and of course, working on your visibility and credibility to start building relationships, and then you sell. So this one was an integral part for me when I was branding. I believe that it's so difficult to be all over the place. I'm in YouTube, I'm in Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm in LinkedIn, etc. Right now, there are two platforms that are really raking it, and that is TikTok, and the other one is LinkedIn. But because of my target audience, I have chosen LinkedIn, and I am encouraging all of you to try it. Try LinkedIn, and while you're at it, do you see that? You better follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, so sharing with you just quickly, I was in a Zoom call 2 days ago, and we were talking about a philanthropic activity, and out of the blues, one of them asked, Delby, weren't you telling us about a volunteer for the vision boarding exercise for these human trafficking survivors? Where did they find you? She found me on LinkedIn. And then there was another question again. Oh, Delbs, you're going to be speaking at this summit or whatever, etc. Where did they find you? They found me on LinkedIn. That's in the same conversation, in the same hour. And then there was somebody who was just telling me, Delbs, I just got a text. They're asking me if you're good. Who's that? It's my sister-in-law. She needs a coach for image and branding because she's going to be country manager, etc. So what I'm saying is there are small milestones that are indicative that you are on the right path. But this, my friends, has been one of the platforms that really helped me, and I'm encouraging all of you to work on it. Okay. Okay. I'm nearing the end of this, and I would like to share with you that just in case any of you wants to learn more about branding, I created this free self-assessment. So it's downloadable. You download it, and the way to use it is you download it, you get a pen and coffee, put your legs up, and start answering it, and reflecting, etc., etc. This is not one of those that you answer on the laptop or whatever. You take it with you and chill and answer it as close to as honest as possible. And if you have any, by the way, before I forget, for you to pick that up, just in case you're interested, go to www.reinventu.net, www.reinventu.net. Go to the resources page and you can pick that up. And then if you have any questions, that's where you can reach me, Delby@reinventu.net. Now, let me close with this quote. We all have the power to reinvent ourselves, to be the person we want to be. That's it. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions.
Right. Thank you, Delby. Thank you so much for the session. And yes, a lot of people in the chat box are actually asking questions, and also they are giving really positive feedback. So if you can stop sharing your screen for a while so I can
sounds
see
good.
you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. So while I'm still collecting the questions,
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, ladies, if you have questions, do send it in the chat box. I'm still collecting them because a lot of them are coming in right now. All right, so let's start. Yes, Maria said you are so inspiring as always, Delby. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I need to change to speaker view and hi. Now I can see you. All right, so Delby, let's move to the first question. It's from Ange, one of our speakers actually. What advice would you give for ladies dressing and image building in their 50s?
Can you say that again? What advice would you give
for ladies dressing and image building in their 50s?
Okay, so there was a study done before, Ange. Wait, is this one of the fabulous speakers?
Yes, she is.
Oh
yes,
my God! Hello, honey. So anyway, going back to answer your question, there was a study done, and they were wondering how come women in their 40s or 50s were wearing their daughters' outfits, etc. And everything was cool. Everything was cool, etc. So, as far as I'm concerned, I always go with my style motto: celebrate your individuality. Why? Because the 50 now and the 50 before are not exactly the same. The 50s now, even the 60s, the 70s now, is not the same as the 50s, 60s, and 70s before. So for me, please, don't tell me. Like, I do have people that come to the workshops, etc., and they're going to say, Delbs, can I still do this at my age? I go, what are you talking about? I mean, I just don't buy that. So my point is, celebrate your individuality has always been my style motto. And so if you're 50 years old and you feel cool and you want to wear something that's, let's say, being sold in Zara, and most of the people buying this are 20s, as long as you buy the right fit, that's what's important. Because of course, we know that a 50-year-old body is not going to be the same as a 20-year-old body. This is going to be a fabulous super body. Okay, so fit is very important, which means if you have a little bit of challenges, then ease and relaxed dressing would be great. Choice of fabrication, usually women in their 50s, if they have a little bit of money set aside, they might buy things that are a little bit more pricey but better quality, premium quality, compared to maybe their daughters who are still asking for allowance or whatever. So quality, fit, when I say, and also fabrication. If you are more angular in body type, then you might want to go for fabrics that have a little bit more of a how do you say this, structure, not very flowy or not very stretchy, etc. And on the other hand, if you're a little bit more curvy or you have more curves, then fabrics that are a little bit more soft or have ease might be a good choice. In terms of color, like I said, it depends. Are you cool? Are you warm? Remember? So no time to do color analysis here. But aside from color analysis, there's still figure flattering fabrics, and there's such a thing as universal colors. These are colors that are flattering to different skin tones. So these are teal, and there's a purple, and there's nudes, etc., and stone gray. So again, this is not a color analysis class, but then again, there are universal colors. If you want, just email me. I'll continue my answer.
Thank you, Delby. Thank you so much. And Ange, I hope that answers you, but I got a feeling there's a lot more than that, so you do need to contact Delby though. Right, so the next question comes from Darlene. Darlene is our moderator, and she said this. Delby, firstly, it makes me feel at home to hear your stories from the Philippines. I miss the Philippines so much. Can't wait to go back soon. How did you build connection?
Okay. I built connections through building my brand and building relationships. All of the things I told you, I did. And brand building takes long. But it's like the tipping point. Once you hit the tipping point, you know what? You don't know where the invitations are coming, and these are for paid things. So they remember you, like when event coordinators or event companies are looking for speakers, for paid speaking engagements, workshops, etc. For some reason, they remember you, and part of it is because you resonate with them, and you have built that brand. But beyond the brand building, you built relationships, and so building relationships and human connection for me is the ultimate objective.
Right. Thank you, Delby. Thank you. And Darlene, yes, Darlene is from Philippines as well. And yes, we do have Filipinos here. So say hi to Delby. If you're from Philippines, say hi. So in your Tagalog, actually, I think she said I love you, but I cannot pronounce because I think it's funny. I cannot. If I would have pronounced it in English, it's mahal kita. But
oh my God! Mahal din kita. Salamat. Thank you. Take care.
Great. So with that, I'm going to bring you to our next question. It's from Tahasin. She said this, Delby, I always wonder how do authors write their books? Like, are they really experts in English, or how to be an author or writer if an individual's English is not so strong?
Okay, if your English is not so strong, I think there are two options. If you plan for international release, then chances are you might get more traction if it's in English. If it's for local release, hey, we have a lot of Filipino books and a lot of books that are Indian, whatever, Chinese, so Latin America, Spanish. So they have a lot in their native tongue. So number one, you can explore that writing in your native tongue. If you want it for international release, there's such a thing as translations. So there are translation services also online, where if they will ask you for the number of words, etc., and then they will give you a quote how much it's gonna cost for the translation. That's why some books are translated into different languages. So don't let that stop you. The reason why I said this is replicatable, those simple ecosystem that I shared with you, is because even though you're working, you can write like a few pages after office hours, 7 to 9, you can be writing. Or if you're taking care of a child, if you're a mom, maybe when the baby is asleep, you can write a few pages, and before you know it, you're done.
Right.
So do not let that stop you.
All right. So, Tahsin, I think that answers your questions very nicely, and a lot of options there. So next question is from Peyun. She asked us, Delby, what is one or two experiences in your life that has been important to shape you to achieve mastery, passion, purpose, and profits in the area of celebrating people's individuality and the work that you do now?
My gosh, that is such a fabulous question. It's so deep. And I think it's the culmination of the purpose, the passion, and the profit that ended up with me. But when I look back, I think there are certain times in my life that somehow shaped me. One was being bullied. So I had the experience of being bullied one time, and it broke my heart. And I said, I'll try to be better. I'll try to be better. And then the other time was when I felt I was being made fun of. When I was a little girl, our teacher asked us to bring our best outfit to class, and this was in grade school, and I was so proud of myself. I brought out this beautiful yellow outfit with flowers here, so super proud. When I got out of the washroom where I changed, I realized quickly that I was wearing a nightgown, and all my classmates were wearing beautiful clothes. So I told myself that, OMG, I don't want any woman to feel like this. I felt not enough. So I don't want others to feel like this. So look at what I ended up being. Now I have no problem with clothes, and I help women feel that they are enough. There you go.
Thank you so much, Delby. And relating to that, the image bullying, it's very relatable. Just a story to share with you. Like for Chinese girls, we celebrate big eyes, like the double eyelid, huge eyes, and sharp face. And I'm the only girl in the class with the eyelid. So my friends even made fun of me and asked me to go and do plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God. You know, guys, okay, let's be real here. Did you notice the false eyelashes? Because, I don't know, I'm supposed to come from Spanish and Chinese stock. I guess I got more the Chinese stock because I have small eyes too. So, I had to put the false eyelashes on.
And that led me to start makeup when I was 15 because of that insecurity. And also if my mom would have just sent me to an image consultation class when I was younger, perhaps I think the confidence level would have been higher. I don't have to feel ashamed with my eyes. So
I understand.
know,
Work. Yeah, I get you. I feel you, my dear. I feel you.
yeah. So I would like to say that there's a lot more questions coming up. So what I can do is, ladies, I know you have a lot of questions. Amazing feedbacks. There's a lot. Amazing, Delby. Thank you. So I do need to bring up another speaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up here. So Delby, I'm going to collect those questions and send to you so that you also know that who wants to get in touch with you. So girls, ladies, you know that you can find Delby Bragais on the LinkedIn. Go do that right now.
Go to LinkedIn, or they can email me if they LinkedIn or delby@reinventu.net, and we're good.
All right. So with this, ladies, I'm going to close this session. And Delby, once again, I would like to say from my heart, especially my 16 years old me, I'd like to say thank you for doing this for more ladies out there. And very honestly, we need you. So stay fabulous, and I'll see you around. Thanks, Delby.
Yeah. Let's all stay connected, guys. Bye. Love.